Alright, so I just moved to Alaska. This is my garage, first house that I bought. But so the interesting thing, so the garage is heated, which is super nice. However, I realize I'm definitely bleeding a lot of heat into the atmosphere from this garage door. So you can even see there's only some shitty insulation on 2 of the 4 panels. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I bought this XPS extruded polystyrene insulation. It's a R15 value, and I'm going to be installing this. So basically all you're going to need are the XPS itself. I just strapped this to the top of my, and then we've got some foam board adhesive and a little drywall knife. Should be all we need. The one thing I'm interested to see is if the garage door opener will still work well with the weight. We might have to change out the springs, but yeah, we'll see. So it's about 30 degrees outside. This is my house, if you guys couldn't tell. And so this is the garage door. So the garage is heated. So you can see showing the garage at about 1 degree Celsius. Let me get a little closer. Whereas the rest of the house is much cooler. So you can see that it's bleeding heat, especially right here down the middle. You can see the lower panels where there's currently a little bit of insulation. It's a little bit colder. But yeah, pretty cool little FLIR iPhone attachment. You can see the windows and such are bad as well, right up there. Even worse than the garage, I suppose. So these XPS sheets come in 4x8, so that's half of one of these panels. They're 16 feet long. So I cut it to the height. I cut around wherever the hinges are, and I cut it all with this drywall knife. Next I'm going to try a Sawzall and see if that's any better. I think the real good tool for this would be a jigsaw, which I don't have. But anyway, so now I'm going to use this foam board adhesive, because obviously this is too thick for staples. I got a couple of tubes of this, and just cut the tip, put it in a caulk gun, and then I'm going to caulk the back and place it on. Just a word of advice, I'd cut it short rather than long. You don't want it to go over the seams, because then as it bends, as the door peels up, it might interfere. So like it was 21 inches, but I cut it to like 20 and a half, just to be sure. Nice artwork. You guys can draw whatever you like, and now we should be able to just stick it on. And then I'm going to test the garage door once with just this first piece. The Sawzall works wonders compared to the little hand knife. Just lean it up against something and make your cut pretty easy. Also, if you don't know the trick, where you're trying to make a cut, where it'd be like, sorry, it'd be this way. So like if I wanted the 20 inches or 21 inches, you can hold your finger like this and the knife in the other hand and drag it down simultaneously to make your mark pretty easy, and then go at it with the Sawzall. So I'm just about to put up the next piece. I got it all cut. It's pretty simple. The only thing is, so there's a seam here, which you could see in my infrared video, was leaking more heat. I'm gonna get some great stuff. It's like spray foam insulation. Just put it up there, and then at the end, any extra insulation that I have, I'll just bring up to the attic and put up there so it gets used. I went to test the garage door. Basically the foam board adhesive, I realized takes 7 whole days to cure. So some of it was falling off as I was pulling it up, and I didn't really want to wait 7 days to open my garage door. So I went to Home Depot or Lowe's and got these cap nails. They're meant for roofing, and just knock some of these in. I got the 3-inch side, works fine. One other thing of note is think about clearances, because obviously, so as the garage door opens, this is going to turn. So I ended up needing 2.5 inches between like a joint, basically, in order for it to clear with this 3-inch thick XPS foam. And then last thing now, so it's all good now. The only issue is the garage door is now too heavy for the opener. So your garage door will either have torsion bars. Sometimes there's one. Mine has 2, or there will be springs over here on the rails. But so for mine has the torsion bars, and as you can see, they're adjustable. So rather than getting new bars, what I can do is you get a wrench on here and loosen it, and then turn it with this, and then tighten it down. You guys will better look at how I'm doing this. So first, for safety, I put a clamp above the top roller so it can't spring up in case things go crazy. So then what you got to do is, so there are set screws. I have 2 set screws per torsion bar. So what I would do is, so I used a long 3/8 inch extension and then 2 shorter 3/8 extensions put together. And so I got the longer one in and let it rest against here, because the spring wants to rotate this way. So it was resting here, so it couldn't rotate. Then I loosened the set screws just to the point where it was loose. Then I put in the other extension up here, and I rotated, and then like pulled the top one out and swapped it, and then had it holding again and tightened the set screws. You really need an adjustable for the set screws, by the way, because they're these weird square bolts. But anyway, so I moved it about a quarter of a turn. I'm about to do the exact same thing on the other side. And by the way, up is tighten. And after that, we'll see. Hopefully that quarter turn is enough counterweight to work. And doing this should decrease the life of the springs. But I mean, these springs are probably old anyway. Eventually, if anything, I'll get newer, heavier duty springs. But let's see if this works. The quarter turn seemed to work. I'll show you guys my garage door opening. Just FYI, it always opened this slow. It's not slower now, but I don't want you to get blinded by that new light. So you can see where I'm talking about how it bends and it's just making that crack, that joint. Here too, I got a little extra room. And it works. And if I needed to be more, I could tighten the spring up a little more, but I think that's it. Oh, last thing, I bought some great stuff that, I don't know if you noticed in that first IR video, there were some bigger spots in the middle that I'm going to cover up. Here, let me, my spray foam job, not that good, but it's something. Alright, so here I am on a similar day. I think it's actually about 2 degrees warmer now, and I think you can see the difference from the insulation. You see that this temperature is at -4 right now, and it's warmer outside, about the same time of day. I might even get some small insulation to fill in like the little gaps. I guess you can see. I'm wondering why there's so much right here, but I guess maybe there's some weather stripping or something that I can put here to stop this. We'll see, but yeah, looks like it worked.